Hey everybody, it's Nonna. Storytelling time with Nonna. How's everybody? I miss you guys. Hi, Mammy and Mima and May May. My Madeline, Mia and Maisie and Walker. And Asia. AA's there right now. Hi, AA. Ann and Livingston. My nieces, Brandy and Anna. Hi, girls. And Junior. What's up, dude? And in Florida, I think we still have with us Alizia, at least listening to our story time, hopefully, and maybe her brothers as well. Hey there in Florida, guys. Today we are going to be reading a pretty cool story called Jack and the Beanstalk. And some of my babies have never even heard the story. So we're going to read Jack and the Beanstalk. See Jack? That's the beanstalk. And there's a castle. Let's see what the story says. Jack and the Beanstalk. Once upon a time in a little village far, far away, there was a boy named Jack. He lived in a tiny cottage with his mother. They were very poor, but Jack loved his mother dearly, and they worked hard every day to make ends meet. Their only possession, that's Jack and his mom. Their only possession was an old cow that Jack milked every morning. After gathering the day's milk, he and his mother would head to the market and sell the milk. Then they would buy food with their earnings. One day, the tired old cow couldn't give any more milk. Without any money or food, Jack and his mother had no choice but to sell their poor cow. Jack's mother asked him to take the cow to the market and sell her to the highest bidder. The one that would give him the most money is what that means. Jack was sad to have to get rid of their beloved friend, but he did as his mother told him to. He left home and headed to the market to sell the cow. On his way to the market, Jack passed a butcher shop. When he saw Jack, the butcher rushed out of his shop. "Well, hello there, Jack. How much for that cow?" asked the butcher politely. Jack shrugged. "As much as I can get," he said. "My mother and I need money to buy food." The butcher reached into his pocket and pulled out 5 beans. "What if I trade you these magic beans instead?" he said. "Plant these beans and I guarantee you'll have all the money you'll ever need by morning." Curious, Jack accepted the offer and hurried home to tell his mother. When he showed the beans to his mother, she was furious. "That cow was all we had," she shouted. "You traded her for these worthless beans." With that, she tossed the beans out the window and sent Jack to bed without supper. The next morning, Jack awoke in a dark room. Something huge was blocking his window. He got out of bed and discovered that a giant beanstalk had grown in the spot where his mother had thrown the beans. He dressed quickly and rushed outside to inspect the mighty plant. He could see no end to the beanstalk, so Jack decided to climb it to see how high it reached. He climbed up, and was soon surrounded by clouds. His cottage was nothing more than a tiny speck below him. There was no turning back now. He bravely climbed higher and higher until he reached the very top of the beanstalk. At the top, Jack hopped down onto a cloudy floor. The first thing he saw was a great castle adorned in gold jewels. The castle was so big that Jack figured it must belong to a giant, a very rich giant. Jack knocked on the humongous door. It wasn't long before a lady opened the door. She was the giant's wife and a very kind woman. She invited Jack inside for lunch. As Jack ate, he heard heavy footsteps coming down the hall. "That's my husband," the wife exclaimed. "He doesn't take kindly to people. Quick, hide in the kettle." The giant's voice boomed angrily. "Fee, fi, fo, fum. I smell the blood of an Englishman." "Nonsense," the giant's wife replied. "There's no Englishman anywhere here." She carried the kettle to the kitchen counter, out of the giant's reach. Jack sat inside the kettle and listened intently. See Jack? Right there. Inside it. Just then the giant's voice roared again. "Bring me my chest," he said to his wife. "I want to count my gold." As he counted his gold coins, the giant got very tired. He fell asleep, snoring loudly. Jack saw his chance to escape. He climbed out of the kettle and grabbed the bag of coins. Jack hopped down off the table with his treasure and scurried toward the door. It was only open a crack, and he just barely managed to squeeze through. Just as he neared the beanstalk, Jack heard a rumble of heavy footsteps. The giant was in the castle doorway. "Someone stole my gold," he roared. "When I find him, I'll make him pay." The giant looked to the left. Then he looked to the right. He spotted Jack and charged toward the beanstalk with big strides. Jack tied the sacks of gold to his belt and hopped onto the stalk. He shimmied downward as quickly as he could. He was moving fast, but not fast enough. The giant had already reached the beanstalk. The giant began to chase Jack. The beanstalk swayed back and forth under their weight. The giant was not nearly as quick as Jack and had trouble keeping the beanstalk steady enough to climb. Jack was a very nimble boy and easily scaled the rest of the way down. Jack hopped off the beanstalk and ran straight into the house to grab an axe. Jack chopped furiously at the thick beanstalk. The giant was gaining speed and now halfway down the beanstalk. Jack chopped and chopped until his arms were sore, and just then his mother appeared. "Mother, help me cut down this stalk. There's a giant chasing me." His mother fetched a kitchen knife, and together they chopped halfway through the stalk. The stalk began to shake under the giant's weight. Suddenly there was a loud snap. The stalk cracked, and the mighty plant came crashing to the ground. And so did the giant. Jack had defeated him. "What's going on?" Jack's mother asked. Jack told his mother the incredible story of the magic beanstalk, the castle, and the giant. At the very end of the tale, he revealed his bag of gold coins. "We'll never go hungry again, Mother," Jack said proudly. Jack's mother jumped for joy. She hugged her beloved son, and they immediately went to the market to buy food and supplies. They also bought a new cow so they could continue to sell milk at the market. Jack and his mother were never in need again. They worked hard on their farm and never had to wish for any more money. Together, they lived happily ever after. The end. And that is the story of Jack and the Beanstalk. Now, we shall read a tale from this book. It's by Amy Newmark, and it's Life Lessons from Cat the Cat. Learning that my wife was soon to have a baby, shopping for the lengthy list of new stuff at baby stores slightly overwhelming, This is kind of adultish, y'all. Let's stop there. We shall read no worries. I got some new books. I think I've already done this one. M is for mouse. Okay. Uh-oh. Five-minute bedtime stories. Hide and seek dream. 'Twas a starry night with moonbeams gleaming and sparkling bright, when I fell asleep and dreamed I saw happy friends with happy grins, playing dreamland hide and seek. So off I dashed to find a hiding place, but in my haste I placed my leg on a slippery log that jogged and turned. Then down the hill I started rolling. Help! Help! I shouted, and never doubted this rolling log should be rerouted. Suddenly, splash! I fell into a magical fishy-filled bog. When I came out, standing on my noggin was a little green frog in a red toboggan. And what was peeping out from my pocket? A fish that wiggled and said as he giggled, "Welcome, little guy, but wouldn't you try to hide somewhere dry? Me, oh my! A fish that talks, frogs and toboggans. Strange things like these could only happen in our wildest dreams." Little porcupine needs a hug. Little Pinky was her name, a silly, quilly kind. She was loved by one and all, this little porcupine. But little Pinky's heart was sad, while others played and tugged. Her outside stuck like a sticker bush, and she couldn't get a hug. The wise old owl overheard her cries and told little Pinky to dry her eyes. "Have you met Toby Turtle?" he said with a smile. "I think you'd be friends in a very short while." Toby Turtle wouldn't mind her quills because of his hard shell. She asked Toby for a hug. He answered, "That would be swell." "Oh, what a happy ending. Remember this, please do. You are very special, so be happy being you." The parade. There once lived a girl who dreamed of marching out in front of the big parade. She practiced every day and night before school in morning's light. And even when the moon shone bright, she even practiced in bed at night. Her dad announced the news one day, "Tomorrow comes the big parade." And so they went, and what a show. The band was marching in a row. With all the sirens blaring loud, Mary stepped out from the crowd. She didn't know how far she could go, and wasn't afraid to lead the parade. On she marched, her dream come true, far from mom and dad, it's true. She was marching further and further away as her mom and dad began to say, "How will we find her in this crowd today?" Just that moment they heard a voice that made their heavy hearts rejoice. The voice said, "Mom and Dad, don't fear. Please come quick. I'm over here." Daddy ran and picked her up from the crowd. "I'm so glad you're safe," he shouted out. Mary was sorry for causing this mess. "I'm sorry, Dad, for your distress." Life is just that way, it seems. Sometimes we rush to follow dreams. We march away with blaring bands to find we're lost as little lambs. But the only thing you need to know, your mom and dad do love you so. And if you get turned around, we'll look for you until you're found. Josie's bells. Once upon a country day in Bellborough's far away, there lived a girl named Josie Bell. She was known so well because she owned so many bells, big bells, little bells, church bells too, doorbells, sleigh bells, bright and new, cowbells, handbells. As I recall, Josie Bell, she had them all. One day a grumpy old man did say, "We need to stop her bells from ringing and keep our ears from ding-dong dinging. We wake to bells ringing loud and strong, and on Sunday church bells ring too long. And just before my supper time, her dinner bell rings to chime, chime, chime." I say no more, ding-a-lings. Her bells have ruined everything. And so the folks of Bellborough agreed the bells would have to go. So on one dreary summer's night, they did a thing that wasn't right. While Josie was peacefully asleep, they took her bells without a peep. When morning came, there were no sounds of morning bells to wake the town, so people overslept countrywide and church attendance began to slide. No dinner bell? For heaven's sake, people worked till their backs did break. Without Josie's bells a sounding, the town had problems that were compounding. "What have I done?" the old man cried. "I was wrong, I do not deny. So let's return all the bells to the girl who rang them so well." So Josie's bells were loaded and toted over the hills and dells, and as they went you could hear the sound of all Josie's bells. And so the now contented man sang a song while all held hands, saying, "Let us live and love each other, always helping one another, and may this village always hear Josie bells ring loud and clear." The end. That's all for today, guys. Thanks for joining me on Storytelling Time with Nonna. I will be making a video and uploading. I got a package from Livingston from the Powells, and I'll be doing this on video online and uploading the video rather. And I can't wait to see you all next time. Bye, Maddie and Mia and Maisie and Brandy and Anna and Junior and Alicia and Aiden and Cage and everybody else who's watching. Nonna loves you all.